Hello everyone, in this video I will show you our new ACSV3 firmware work with LoRaWAN, so that you can integrate Kinkoney board such as ALR and A6v3 LoRa board to Home Assistant very easily, because we have designed this new firmware so that you can integrate to the board to Home Assistant by LoRaWAN protocol. So in this video I will show you how it works by the different hardware and how it works integrate to Home Assistant step by step. Okay, let's look at the LoRa board firstly and how it works. Okay, you can see this is Kinkoney ALR board because this ALR is LoRa ESP32 board and it's made by waterproof box. You can see that's this box, but I have opened this box. You can see this is the first one. You can see the LCD screen display that shows the LoRa is a server and the network address and the signal and the IP address of Wi-Fi, because I have used the ESP32. This board is Wi-Fi, and this is power supply, and this work as a server. Because you need to install the antenna, you can see you can install this type of antenna for the SMA socket. For example, actually you can use this just for example this one, external Wi-Fi antenna and connect to this SMA socket. Because I have taken the demo video, so I want to save the space, so because so much board on my desktop, so I don't connect with the antenna because this is very short distance. Actually the LoRa I have tested for hundreds of meters, no problem. So this I have not installed the antenna. I just take a video for you. And this is the second one. You can see the second one, that LCD also will show it's a client, LoRa client. You can see this is a client, and this is a server. And this one, let's look at the LCD display. This one, and you can see the LCD, that IP address also is a client. So this is a LoRa client and network address. So you can see this have a server, client, and this you can see that is A6v3. We can also see this display, that is a LoRa client. So you can see this is a server, this is a client. So you can add many clients because we have used this 8-bit address. You can see this is a DIP switch that is set for the LoRa address. You can see this is a DIP switch. This is on and that is off. So now the 8-bit is off. So that LoRa address is FF. So you can set just let. So you can just let all board connect to this server. Just set the same network address. Just use this DIP switch in same position. And this A6v3 without this DIP switch, but we have designed the software switch in the KCS web page. Later I will show you how it works. So now you can see this is server, this is client, and this totally 4 board have integrated to Home Assistant by LoRa. Because I have installed Home Assistant in Kinkoney server, Raspberry Pi controller, and let's look at the software. You can see my computer, and this you can see that is Kinkoney Home Assistant dashboard, and you can see in this setting and this one device and device, you will see this is ALR, but you can see that have totally 9 channel relay output. You can see this is channel 1. This is server. You can see the server relay is working. And you can see this is second client, turn on relay, turn off relay. And this one, you can see the output 3, that is the third client. And you can see I can turn on relay, turn off relay. And this one, you can see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 that have 6 channel relay is this one. This one you can see that have 6 channel relay. So you can see if I turn on relay 4, This one you can see that is A6v3 board first channel relay. You can see it here, turn off. And this is 5, that is second relay of this board. And this is the last one, just channel 6. So you can see this board all can work with the home assistant. And also you can see the ADC analog input and this digital input all have integrated to home assistant by LoRa. Because only one ALR server have integrated to home assistant, and other client, LoRa client, have integrated to the server, because the server and update MQTT message to the home assistant just by one channel. So in this video, I will show you, I will clear all data and clear all this connection relationship and show you how to step by step add the first one LoRa server and the second LoRa client and the third LoRa client and the fourth LoRa client. Okay, let's look at. And the first, I just power off all board and delete the home assistant. You can see the ALR board, I will delete it. Okay, now you can see the ALR is display in home assistant. And now I will power off our board. You can see this our board have worked with this 12 watt. First one, power off, this power off. And the second one, power off. And the third one, power off. And all off. Okay, now we can look at the first, we can download the KCS firmware to this board and let it work as a server. Actually, you can use A6v3 as a server, is also no problem. For example, this is a server, this is a client, or this is a server, or this is a client, no problem. So all board both support client and server mode, just set by your software. And the first you can see, I can connect to the USB-C cable because I want to download the firmware. So you can see, I just use my 12 watt power supply for first one, power on. Now I will download the firmware from my computer. And you can see I have used this downloader tool and choose ESP32 S3 and USB port and press OK. And in this window, because you can download the KCS v3 3.10.0, you can download from Kinkoni webpage. This is KCS v3 firmware room. So you can download from here. And after download, you can see I can choose this. This is ALR. This is ALR. Because this is for OTA, and I have downloaded this bin file ALR and click and choose the component. And the first I can erase this chip because maybe have some settings. If you have a new board, you don't need to erase it, no problem. And after you erase it, you can see finished. Then I can click start. Then we'll begin to download the firmware. And after download the firmware, we will connect by Wi-Fi because ALR is working by Wi-Fi. We'll connect with Wi-Fi and configure it for SSID and password. Let the board work as STA station mode. Okay, you can see this is complete. So I close this window and power off. You can see I can power off and power on again. Okay, just re-power on. And let's look at my computer. And after start, you will see your computer Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi signal, this is ALR AP mode Wi-Fi hotspot. So I can connect it to ALR board. This is connected. And now you can see I can import the default ESP32 IP address, just this one, enter, and enter by the default username and password, or is admin. And now the first, I want to let it connect with my loader. So you can see I can change to STA mode and this is Wi-Fi SSID, and this is Wi-Fi load password. This just write by yourself. This is my router's SSID and password. You can click save and click OK, and wait for a moment. Now let's look at the LCD display. You can see this have connected with my load, and this is IP address 3.141. Okay, you can see this time I will log in by this new IP address 3.141. Enter. So this you can see I can log in again. This time is work as a station mode. And now you can see the monitor. You will see this ALR have one channel relay and one digital input. So you can see I can click on and off, no problem. Okay, now I will set it work as a LoRa server. So you can see, click this protocol, you will see a new window that have a LoRa, and this time you can see we just enable this LoRa, and the work mode you must have a one server and a multi-client. So this is the first one I choose to the server, and the frequency you can see that you can choose 433, 868, and 915. This according to your LoRa hardware. So you can see in just according to this LoRa module. So this LoRa module, you can see this have different frequency version. So which one you want to use it, you just plug the corresponding LoRa module and choose the correct frequency. So you can see now I default use 433 MHz, and this is address because there are switch. You can see the ALR have a switch LoRa address set. So you just set to on and off by the switch, not use the software. So this is for A6v3 use. So this you can see you can't change it because it's according to the hardware. So you just click save and press OK. So this time the board after reboot will work as a LoRa server. And now we want to integrate to Home Assistant. So you can enable the auto discovery function of Home Assistant. You can see it here, and I can enable this one. And the device name, I input ALR, and this is MQTT mosquito block on your Raspberry Pi. This set by yourself. I just set my mosquito default username, password, and the port and the address. This is in my Raspberry Pi computer. Okay, and now you can see I can click save and click OK. Okay, after reboot, now I go to my Home Assistant. Just this device, I can refresh. You can see this ALR have auto discovered, and I can press click, and now you can see one ALR board. You can see I can turn on and turn off relay, and this ADC and this digital input. I can shut this twice, so you can see the first. This one you can see this have a DI. Sorry, the test is very small. So we can see this board. So you can see this have a DI, digital input 1, and this ground. So I will shut these two ports. Just let the digital input shut, toggle. So now you can see if I shut for these 2 points, just this one shut. And you can see in Home Assistant that is toggle and not shut. And shut again. So this is update to Home Assistant. And also you can connect with the analog input sensor 0 to 5 volt. You can see this is 0 volt, and this is on off. You can see this is relay, just on off. Okay, this is the first ALR work as a server have integrated to Home Assistant by Wi-Fi, and this is by MQTT. Now let's add the second. Just I want to add this one to Home Assistant, but this time the second is a LoRa client. They are communication with the LoRa wireless signal, not by Wi-Fi. So this time I will connect this USB cable and download the KCS-V3 firmware to this second one. It's a client. And also I can connect with this power supply. Connect it. Okay, you can see the power LED is on. Now I will download the firmware and also open this download tool and click ESP32 S3 and USB and OK, just as same as before. And this firmware and choose the component and eraser. Okay, finish and start. Okay, this is complete, and close this window. Also re-power on of this board. And you can see it here. I can power off and power on. But also you can press this reset button. This is reset if you don't want power off and power on again. And this time we can with the LCD display show the Wi-Fi IP address. This is hotspot. So as same as before, I will let my computer connect with this ALR board by Wi-Fi hotspot and change the IP address and also set to STA mode. And you can see network and STA mode, SSID and the password, and press save. Okay, after the boot, let's look at the new IP address. You can see the new IP address is 3.132. Okay, now we can just input 3.132. Okay, we can log in again. ALR. And this time we can click protocol and click LoRa. And you can see I can enable it. This time I will let it work as a client, and this is frequency, and this not need to change it because I have already set the switch as this all is off, and press save and press save, and just wait for a moment. Let's look at what is changed, what is different update. Okay, let's look at the monitor. This monitor, you can see, I can click on and off. This is for the second one. You can see that this is the second one. Okay, that is work by the Wi-Fi because it's monitor web page. And then let's look at the first window, the first web page, and click monitor. And this time you can see that have add second device. So this one, output 1, you can see. This is really 1. This is the first ALR board. This is first ALR board. And you can see if I click this really output 2, this is second one. This is second one. And also you can see if I short for the digital input, this is short digital input 1. And you can see this is the first turn green. And if I short this digital input 1, you can see that have turned green, the second one. So these two devices have connected together with the LoRaWAN. And this is first servers. This is server ALR board. And also we can go to the Home Assistant dashboard. you will see that is automatically add another device. You can see this is second one, second relay, on and off. This is on and off, second relay. And you can see if I refresh, you can see this time have 2 digital input. So this is second one. And this one you can see 5, 6, 7, 8, that is second ALR board analog input. So this time have integrated the second board relay output and digital input and analog input all integrated to home assistant automatically by the MQTT. The date have work communication with the first server, and the server is by this Wi-Fi and send the data to your home assistant server by MQTT. So this one you can see is very easy. Just you need to set this LoRa board and work as a client. Okay, let's test the third one, third ALR. And you can see this ALR board, just this one, I have connect a DS18B20 temperature sensor. So this time we'll integrate to the digital input and relay output and this DS18B20 temperature sensor to home assistant. Let's look at how it works. And first, we download the firmware to this board and power on of this board. Okay, power on, and you can see this is power on. And download the firmware. You can see I will download the firmware as before. So if I choose ESP32 S3 USB and just as before choose component and erase it, wait for a moment. Just wait for a moment. Then I can click start. Okay, this is download complete. I close this window. And now you can see, if you don't want this power off and power again, you can press this button that have a EN, that is reset. Press this button. Just reset. And also you can power off and power on again. Oh, no problem. And I remove this USB cable and wait for a moment. And okay, that showed the Wi-Fi hotspot IP address as before. So I connect with my Wi-Fi, just ALR board, connect it, and the third window, and also set to STA mode. Network, STA, okay, save. And this time we need to set the sensor because we have a DS18B20 temperature sensor. So after it reboot, let's look at it. So you can see after the reboot, that have showed the IP address 3.130. So I log in again. Okay, now I can log in it and use the username and password to log in. Just I need to set a sensor because the sensor have connect with this GPIO. This GPIO have connect DS18B20 temperature sensor. So press this sensor. And because there are many sensors you can use, this time we have used this sensor, and if you want to connect with many sensors, for example the AS485 sensor, you can see the total 32 sensor by one board, enough for you to use, and DS18B20 and the GPIO only 15, and the temperature sensor unit, and this is 0.1 threshold. And if you want it, the sensor data display on the screen, you just click. If you don't want display, you can enable it. So I click and press save. And after reboot, we can click this monitor, and you will see the temperature have showed it here. Now we will integrate to the first LoRa server. So I click LoRa and enable, and this is client, and press save. Press save. And wait for a moment, that will be reboot. And let's look at the LCD display. After reboot, that showed IP address, and you can see this LoRa information, LoRa client, and you can see this is temperature sensor date 23. This is sensor 1. Okay, now we can look at the date that have monitor, the sensor date, and the relay on and off. You can see this is relay on, off. And this time let's back to the first ALR. Just this is the first ALR board server, and wait for a moment because the LoRa communication will need time to work for it. Okay, you can see after I refresh, this is third LoRa board have displayed. Turn on first one, turn on second one, turn on third one, and close, close, close. So you can see these two clients have integrated to the first LoRa server. And let's back to home assistant dashboard. And I can also refresh because that needs time to update. You don't need to configure any code. You just need to wait. Okay, you can see the third LoRa board, and you can see the third digital input, and this DS18B20 temperature sensor have showed it here. So this have a work with the LoRaWAN, and you can see I can turn on and turn off the third board, no problem. And this is digital input. You can see it's here. I can shut the. You can see I can shut this one. Digital input. Okay. Sorry. Just you can see this is triggered input 3, and this is off. And this one is the second. You can see I can shut for this. That is triggered for input 2. And this one, you can see if I shut, that is triggered for input 1. You can see the input 1 is triggered. Okay, this is released. So until now, you can see these two clients have communication with the server, and the server is work with the home assistant by MQTT. And also you can see this temperature sensor have sent the date. This read the temperature and send the signal to this server, and the server send to mosquito broke, the home assistant. Okay, and the next, this all is ALR, but now I want integrate this A6v3 board to the LoRa server. And you can see this have a 8-channel relay, and this have 8-channel digital input, and also have some analog input. So you can see now I want to download the firmware for A6v3, new firmware by USB-C cable, and also connect with this power supply. Okay, connect with the power supply, and download this firmware again. Also choose the ESP32 S3 and the USB, and OK, and just change a firmware file. And this one is A6v3, and choose this one, and click component, eraser, and after eraser, we will download the firmware just by this USB-C cable. OK, finished. I can click start. So you can see all board have integrated with LoRa is very easy. Just to set the KCS and by server or by client. And that will auto work with the server board and update the date by MQTT to home assistant. Okay, that will be finished. Just I close this window and close this window, and you will see I can power on this board, and this will be reboot. And after reboot, I will connect it by the Wi-Fi, because also this board is work with the Wi-Fi. So you can see I can connect with the Wi-Fi hotspot. This time is A6v3. So I can click connect here. Okay, this is the first window. And login by username and password, and set the network also by this way, save. Okay, then you can see after reboot, let's look at the new IP address. Okay, 3.127 at here. So 3.127. Okay, login by username and the password. And now you can see the monitor. It have a 6-channel relay. This is 6-channel relay for A6v3 board. And click LoRa and click this one, enable client and 433 MHz. And you can see A6v3 that can use this software DIP switch, because you can see that means turn on. Because my LoRa server is all off, 8-bit is all off, so I change to this. You can see if I change the different DIP switch, you can see the network address is changed. This will be changed. So you just see this photo, that will be easy. And click save, And wait for a moment, will be reboot. Okay, now is reboot. And let's look at this third and the second and the first. Wait for a moment. And we can just refresh. Okay, you can see that have 9-channel digital input and 9-channel relay output. So that means the A6v3 hardware resource have integrated to the first LoRa server. So this 4 PCB, just 3 clients, all hardware resource have added to this first ALR board. And now you can see in my home assistant dashboard, okay, you can see I refresh. Okay, you can see there are so much relay listed here, and there are so much ADC listed here, and there are so much digital input listed here. So you can see this A6 have integrated to home assistant by the LoRa. So this is a very easy way. Let this all board have work with the server and this client. And maybe you will use this one for server and this one for client. Oh, this is server, and another A6v3 work as a client is no problem. Okay, so you can see this is very easy for the LoRaWAN protocol. You can integrate to connect board to the home assistant by the LoRa. So you can place many LoRa board in different places, and they can work with each other by the LoRaWAN protocol. That will be for long distance, even if you use for the agriculture project or any other IoT project, just want long distance, you can use by this LoRaWAN. Okay, if you have any questions, you can leave a message to us. Thanks for watching.